Hello guys, today we are going to be doing iMovie Racing Square out to even the status. So that's what it's the video next. So yes, it uses the boost power and the motor might be the V8 engine. This is the turbo engine. The let's see, 99 of iMovie Racing uses the ultimate iMovie final power up power, and this is the V8 engine and this is the turbo engine. Brazil uses the jumping shot jump out of the water power, and this is the V8 engine. This is the turbo engine. China uses the cake power, and it uses the V8 engine, and this is the turbo engine. The United Kingdom uses the howling power, and this is the V8 engine, and this is the turbo engine. Italy uses the public shock power, and this is the V8 engine, and this is the turbo engine. France uses the old messy behind the bed power, and this is the V8 engine, this is the turbo engine. Germany uses the swing power, and this is the V8 engine, and this is the turbo engine. Canada uses the public scotch power, and this is the turbo engine, and this is the V8 engine. Australia uses the roller skating power, and this is the V8 engine, this is the turbo engine. South Korea uses the ski power, and this is the turbo engine, and this is the V8 engine. Egypt uses the semi-west power, and this is the V8 engine, and this is the turbo engine. South Africa uses the steam of Syria power, and this is the V8 engine, this is the turbo engine. Argentina uses the hockey power, and this is the V8 engine, and this is the turbo engine. Syria uses the team of South Africa power, and this is the V8 engine, which is the turbo engine. Iran uses the Great Chocolate Chase power, and this is the V8 engine, and this is the turbo engine. European Union uses the Albert power, and this is the V8 engine, and this is the turbo engine. Turkey uses the reverse underpass finger firing power, and this is the V8 engine, and this is the turbo engine. Algeria uses the emoji power, and this is the V8 engine, and this is the turbo engine. Russia uses the boom power, and this is the V8 engine, and this is the turbo engine. India uses the Kalikon power, and this is the V8 engine, and this is the turbo engine. Nigeria uses the rain power, and this is the V8 engine, and this is the turbo engine. Kenya uses the Pinata power, and this is the V8 engine, and this is the turbo engine. Morocco uses the turn it out power, and this is the V8 engine, and this is the turbo engine. Somalia uses the candy power, and this is the V8 engine, and this is the turbo engine. Cuba uses the Bay for Steam power, and this is the V8 engine, this is the turbo engine. Sudan uses the Jack and Jill power, and this is the V8 engine, this is the turbo engine. Costa Rica uses the Bingo and Rainbow Horse Jumping out the I and G power, and this is the V8 engine, this is the turbo engine. Bolivia uses the double hockey power, and this is the V8 engine, this is the turbo engine. Vietnam uses the Baby with Kangaroo's power, and this is the V8 engine, this is the turbo engine. Turning Back Part 2 uses the Baby from Ice Age power, and this is the V2 engine, and it uses the electric motor. Pakistan uses the Joyce and Blaster Trapping Penny power, and this is the V8 engine, this is the turbo engine. Pakistan uses the Brainiac power, and this is the V8 engine, and this is the turbo engine. Hungary uses the Acorn Hide and Seek power, and this is the V8 engine, this is the turbo engine. Spain uses the Crown power, and this is the V8 engine, which is the turbo engine. Northern Ireland uses the Beaver Take Off the Mars power, and this is the V8 engine, and this is the turbo engine. France uses the old machine on the sweeping on the bed 2 times power, and this is the V8 engine, and this is the turbo engine. Albania uses the Spider-Man power, and this is the turbo engine, and this is the V8 engine. Germany uses the Swings power for 2 times, and this is the V8 engine, which is the turbo engine for 2. Poland uses the Jacob Bomber and his friends strapped on his Christmas tree, and this is the V8 engine, which is the turbo engine. Austria uses the Racing Star Waterfall power, and this is the V8 engine, which is the turbo engine. Belgium uses the Double Boost power, and this is the V8 engine, which is the turbo engine. Sweden uses the Pancake power, and this is the V8 engine, and this is the turbo engine. Russia uses the Vermis power, and this is the V8 engine, which is the turbo engine. Ukraine uses the no being in first place allowed, and it uses the V8 engine, it uses the turbo engine. Italy uses the public construct power, and it uses the V8 engine, it uses the turbo engine. That's the power up is for use for 2 times. Czech Republic uses the train power, and it uses the V8 engine, it uses the turbo engine. Romania uses the pants under head power, and it uses the turbo engine, it uses the turbo and the V8 engine. Wales uses the ABC Galaxy power, and it uses the V8 engine, and it uses the turbo engine. Turkey uses the wheels on the bus finger family for 2 times power, and it uses the V8 engine, which is the turbo engine. England uses the turbo beam power, and it uses the V8 engine, and it uses the turbo engine. Slovakia uses the baby body on the book power, and it uses the V8 engine, which is the turbo engine. Ireland uses the 2 on the head power, and it uses the V8 engine, and it uses the turbo engine. Superior uses the police power, and it uses the V8 engine, it uses the turbo engine. Cadillac uses the iMovie power, and it uses the V8 engine, which is the turbo engine. Philippines uses the washing the dishes power, and it uses the V8 engine, and it uses the turbo engine power. Japan uses the if your side power, and it uses the V8 engine, and it uses the turbo engine. Mexico uses the children playing, and it uses the V8 engine, and it uses the turbo engine. Georgia uses the old man power, and it uses the turbo engine, and it uses the V8 engine. Antarctica uses the muzzle power, and it uses the V8 engine, and it uses the turbo engine. Yuri uses the Yuri time power, and it uses the V8 engine, and it uses the turbo engine. Victor uses the Victor time power, and it uses the V8 engine, and it uses the turbo engine. Anna uses the Anna time power, and it uses the V8 engine, and it uses the turbo engine. Scotland uses the pail of water power, and it uses the V8 engine, and it uses the turbo engine. Marshall Islands uses the slate detacher, and it uses the V8 engine, it uses the turbo engine. Argentina 1 of 2 uses the fire and ice hockey power, and it uses the V8 engine, it uses the turbo engine. Oksana uses the teleporter power, and it uses the V8 engine, it uses the turbo engine. Bath time uses the boy on the bathtub power, and it uses the V8 engine, it uses the turbo engine. Bath time uses the faucet power, and it uses the V8 engine, and it uses the turbo engine. South Vietnam uses the happy birthday power, and it uses the V8 engine, and it uses the turbo engine. Saudi Arabia uses the Coral Castle power, and it uses the V8 engine, and it uses the turbo engine. French Guiana uses the Francis power, which means the old man sleeping on the bed power, and it uses the turbo engine, and it uses the V8 engine. South Sudan uses the reverser power, and it uses the V8 engine, and it uses the turbo engine. Here's our bonus mod. iMovie's GMC Hummer pickup truck can use the crab walk, but it has the V4 engine, and it uses the combustion engine. And the GMC Hummer SUV uses the crab walk, and it uses the motor is V4, and the motor is combustion engine. And that's it. That's all what we are going to be doing on our video. So our next video is the I'm racing Screw Even to Odd Las Vegas Casino Edition. That's our next video that we are going to stop by. We'll see you soon, and don't forget we have big bug of episodes in Safetyville Park on our next video. We'll see you soon. Bye bye. Guess what we have to do. See you later. Bye. Oh, I like that GMC Hummer. See? So the next video that we are going to be focusing on is the iMovie Racing Square Art Even to Odd Las Vegas Casino Edition, which means there's MLP G5 coming soon on iMovie Racing. Okay? And see you soon. Bye-bye.